Earlier today, the Rapides Area Planning Commission will meet with the Rapides Parish Police Jury as part of the 2050 Metropolitan Transportation Plan update. The meeting covered local transportation priorities, road maintenance, safety needs, and how parish and regional planning efforts can work together. No votes will be taken, and it's an informational meeting only. This project that RAPC aiming to launch is called Movie Project 2050.
We're going to meet with all stakeholders, elected officials we can within the metro area to get their input on projects that are needed, improvements that are needed in their districts, especially ones that their constituents are bringing to their attention the most. And the idea is to take those regionally significant transportation projects and include them in the long-range transportation plan so we can find funding sources at the federal or state level for implementation.
The public can also leave comment on the RAPC website to address their concerns. For more information, you can call 318-487-5401 or visit rapc.info/transportation.